If you follow the previous sections of the course, then you have come a long way, so you now know the fundamentals of Python. You know how to solve fundamental problems. For example, let's say you wanted the number of characters of this string, so you have methods and you have functions that you can use. So for methods, you can search with dir, str, you'd see a bunch of methods here that could be applied to strings, and then you could see functions, built-in functions. For example, the len method would be handy here. It would return the number of characters for the pi string, which is 6. Now, all these here, so these functions and the string methods, they are all built in. So these are methods and functions that are written inside the Python software that you download and install from python.org. So that software is written in C language, therefore these methods and functions are also written in C language. And as you see, these names here are available immediately in your Python interpreter. That means they are built in, they are inside that interpreter. And you can just call them without importing them. Now, what if we had some other problems, like, let's say, you see this script here. What this script is doing is, it's a loop, it's a while loop. So while true, which means it will run forever. So what it does is it's reading this file, vegetable.txt, in the files directory, which happens to be in the same directory with basics.py. So that is the path of the file. And this text file contains a string. And so I'm reading it under this variable, and I'm printing out the contents in here. So if I execute this file, you're going to get the content printed out every split of a second, and which depends on your processor speed, on your computer processor speed. Now, what if we don't want this to happen every split of a second? What if we want to read the content every 10 seconds? Let me interrupt this with Ctrl+C. You'd soon realize that you don't have any built-in function that does that, that implements some sort of sleep method in your script. So there's no function that you can use right away. In that case, you may want to look for built-in modules. To do that, please use this syntax. Import sys, which stands for system, and then sys.builtin module names. And here you'll get a list of modules, built-in modules, so modules that are built in, again, in the Python software. So let's use one of them, time. The way you use it is by importing the module name. And then again, you can use dir to see what you have for that module. For example, here you'll see we have a sleep method. Use help to see how to use that particular method. So it says that it gets the seconds as argument. So let's try it. Time.sleep, let's say 3, 1, 2, 3, and so what time.sleep does, it sleeps the script execution for a particular amount of seconds, 3 in this case. That means we can implement that in this script. It's a good practice to import modules in the first line of the script, and then use that module in your script wherever you need it. In this case, what you want to do is, let's suppose this vegetables.txt file is being generated on our server every 10 seconds. So let's say a software in the server is getting this data from somewhere, and it's writing a new content every 10 seconds. For example, now it's tomato, later it's going to be garlic, 10 seconds after that it will be onion, and so on. So we're getting new content every 10 seconds. So we want to print out the contents of the file and then have the execution sleep for 10 seconds. Now I'm going to save the script, go to the command line, execute it. So you get tomato right away. Now if I change this to onion. Let's say the software changed it, and save, click save. An onion was printed out there after 10 seconds. If I change it to garlic, save. Wait a few seconds. Garlic is printed out there. So every 10 seconds, the script is fetching the data from vegetables.txt and printing it out on a command line. So, Ctrl+C to interrupt it. This is how you use a module. Now, not everything is built in your Python interpreter software. Some things, actually many of them, come in a different form that I'm going to explain in the next lecture.